Carters, are you looking for a new pair of shoes that are cute, comfortable, and can be worn every day? Finding your new go-to pair is now easier than ever with Rothy's. Their shoes give you right out of the box comfort, come in amazing styles and colorways, and hey, you can wash them. It's a new age, people!
And the best part is everything Rothy's makes is better for the planet. So there you go. They've repurposed millions of water bottles into their signature thread that goes into every single one of their products. Millions of women wear Rothy's shoes every single day.
And I'm definitely one of them. They're so comfortable. I wear my Rothy's every day. And I'm Asian. I'm not supposed to wear them in the house. But you can't tell me what to do. It's my house. Did you know that for People's Magazine's first ever style awards, they awarded Best Flat to one of Rothy's styles?
When I tell you these things are comfortable, I mean, I cannot overstate it. All right, so step up your shoes and accessories this spring and get ready to be asked, hey, are those Rothy's? Plus, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/add-to-cart. That's rothys.com/add-to-cart.
Also with that fire, boy.
You forgot your bling bling. Wait.
Hello, add-to-carters. Old and new. The spotlight is so bright in my eyes, this Apple spotlight. I'm SuChin Pak.
And I am Kulap and SuChin. That's why I always wear shades.
We are the hosts of this show, Add to Cart, which is about the things we buy, all the stuff we buy into, and what it says about who we are.
This month, we are so excited and happy to be part of Apple's Spotlight.
Yes.
If they'll still have us after last week, that means, hey, maybe we have some new listeners. Welcome.
So if you're unsure about what this is about who we are, why we're talking about the things we're talking about, we have a list of our favorite episodes in the show notes just to get you started. You know, these are just nibbles. So you always said amuse-bouche. Wait,
yes,
is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Exactly like that. You sound like you're Emily in Paris. Today, we are so excited to welcome dear friends of mine, Jessica St. Clair and one of my one true loves, Diane Raphael, hosts of The Deep Dive. We love them so much, and we're going to head straight into our conversation with them because we have a feeling you're going to love it too. Oh, my stars and stripes forever. We are serving up a goddamn treat for you in July. Today, we are joined by two power blondes. These are women who command, who come forth, who are forged in fire and dance buck naked in the flames. They are both stars of the big screen, the little screen, and your iPhone screen. You've seen them on Grace and Frankie and Avenue 5, to just name a few of their credits. Together, they are the hosts of the Earwolf podcast, The Deep Dive. Please add to cart Diane Raphael and Jessica St. Clair.
Wow. I felt it.
You felt it in your nether chakras?
I did.
We sure did. I always say I want to think of myself the way Kulap thinks about us. Do you know what I mean? She thinks of us as lionesses, and
Goddesses.
I want to live up to what Kulap thinks we're capable of.
No, St. Clair, you actually don't have to do anything. You're it.
What do you... Oh, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. We are enough.
I also have to say, everyone, like SuChin, Kulap, Jessica, I didn't know it was legal for all four of us to be on the same podcast at the same time. Like, this feels electric.
It's so unfair.
Like, is the government going to shut this down?
I love the combined forces. I love The Deep Dive. I listened to it and I said, SuChin Pak.
Yes.
SuChin Pak, you're in for it. You're in for it, SuChin Pak, because I'm going to make you go deeper.
Oh,
because of Jessica and June. They inspire me.
Thank you guys for having us. We're just so excited. The fact that we get to get even chat with you
is a thrill of a lifetime. And I want to say, Kulap, I honestly, so I'm showing up today in this moment, having just taken a nap. And that's something I never do.
Oh, that's so Kulap. That's called pulling a Kulap, honey.
I know. Thank you.
Claire, stop.
That's called pulling a Kulap.
It's true because I never do this. And so I'm a little disheveled and I'm finding my way into this space, but I never nap during the day. And I'm
shocked.
I said, it's 2:00. I know we're recording at 3. And by the way, I know you're probably asking yourselves, SuChin, Kulap, Jessica, like I know I'm the one who rescheduled our time before. So you might wonder like,
Sure. Why you were backed up against it.
did you have to schedule a nap? I know it seems like it might not connect to the major scheduling issues I had where I was like, I've got a tiny window. And you might be asking some questions now. But know that I did have to reschedule. But I just...
No. You needed your fainting time. That was not something I had to account for before. But, a decade into our friendship, now I know.
So I just said it was 2:00. And I said, let me go upstairs and rest.
God, your mother would have been so excited about this.
And I put on a podcast, about someone being brutally murdered limb by limb.
Sure.
And,
Sliced
in
and
horrific
diced.
detail. Yes, like really just cut up good.
Just to ease into some slumber.
Just to really get, relaxed. And I did pass out and I woke up and it was 2:58. And I thought, I have a podcast to record. But I really did think that I was inspired, Kulap, by you and your attention to just rest.
The Queen of Cozy.
And care. Right, SuChin?
She is the queen of cozy.
She is. She's an inspiration.
Yes. And June, there was a part of you that knew that we were going to set things on fire.
Yeah.
So you needed to go within, and now you're going to give.
Yes, I think you're right.
I would assume that the mother of dragons, having not seen Game of Thrones, and having just Googled sex scenes Dothraki and seen what this woman had to offer in the boudoir, and it was a lot.
Did you do incognito on that browser, or was that just full?
She doesn't know how to do
God,
that.
no.
Kulap.
I hope somebody finds it. I don't know how to do that, and I hope somebody finds it. So they could know what I'd like to be treated like, quite frankly.
Well, just send a link. Send a link then, if that's the case.
Add to cart Dothraki sex. But I believe that before the mother of dragons, fucking emerged from the fire sitting on those hot little dragon eggs, she had to take a long nap either before or after or both.
Yes. It felt so indulgent to do during a work day,
I mean, I love this. I don't take a nap generally, but what I'm gathering and what I'm understanding the feedback from my dear friends is that I've become a symbol.
Yes.
I'm a mood.
Yes.
And I actually can't fight it. I won't.
And it doesn't
won't.
have to do with whether you nap or not. It doesn't, that's too literal.
It's an essence.
You know what I mean?
It's an essence.
Yeah. It's not about that.
I likened you to King Kamehameha of Hawaii, who I only know one detail about is that he had like 26 servants massage him to sleep every night. And I was like, that's Kulap. And that's what you're like at various functions. You sit upon like 16 pillows and like you might as well have someone fanning you.
It's so true.
The essence of all of these things.
Yeah.
It's a smoke in the room.
Yes.
A flame in the night. Yeah.
I'm hearing it and I don't dislike it. I actually love it.
I will say we have talked about on the deep dive Kulap's bathroom, SuChin, a number of times. We've talked about the lotions and potions and all of the things that she does to kind of get right.
Decanted
Decanted
into
and
various other receptacles, glass receptacles.
Yeah. And it's just...
Every morning I aerate my moisturizer just for that dab. Just for it to just touch and crystallize.
Little dab will do ya.
Okay, last thing, Kulap, last thing is
Of course.
I do my sort of day ending used to be like at 7:00. Then it started moving to 6. Now it's at 4. So when we wrap up this podcast today, like my day's over. in terms of like me being a productive member of the world.
This is what SuChin does. This is SuChin's lifestyle.
100. We're going into nighttime.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking a nighttime shower as soon as we're done with this.
Oh, God, SuChin, I'm in love with her.
At 4 p.m., like I'm no longer available.
The day is done.
The day is done. Like it's now my time.
But your kids are like, Mommy, the sun it's high noon. And you're like, get into those jammers.
Yeah,
like,
get into
dim
those
the
pajamas.
lights.
I want hair slicked back by 5 p.m. And I want you in Mario Kart pajamas by 5 p.m. Okay? And I'm going to be in pajamas too.
Jess and June, will you please tell us what type of shopper are you guys? Like, I'm willy-nilly. You guys know that. I don't have to tell you anything about me.
You don't. And I have to say, Kulap, like, I don't know what type of shopper I would be without you.
That's right.
Like, I've been deeply influenced by Kulap's.
There's a ripple effect.
There is. Like,
The butterfly
like
effect.
Kulap's sort of the value she puts on just getting what you want when you want it at that moment. Like, I have taken on that lifestyle. So it's hard to know what's really me and what is also you. Truly. I don't enjoy necessarily going to a place and shopping. That's not an experience I love.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But
all
I
right.
do love purchasing skincare items off the internet. And
Welcome home. Welcome home.
I know I'm right at home here. I know I'm right where I should be. I do love like looking through TikTok, seeing who I'm following on TikTok and seeing their reviews and how a product hits. I mean, by the way, I purchased the Paula's Choice exfoliant from this here podcast. I can be deeply influenced when it comes to skincare. So I would say I'm mainly a skincare and product purchaser.
Jess, how about you?
Well, I have learned through this pandemic that spending money makes me feel good. It fills a hole and it really makes me feel happy.
Again, welcome
And
home. Yeah.
Welcome home. And
Yeah.
so, and I don't mind returning. Okay. So I'm going to sometimes just go buy, 5 bathing suits, just willy nilly, and know that I can return all of them. And I often do.
Yep, me too.
Bathing suits is like the one thing that I feel like we shouldn't be
And you
returning.
shouldn't. That's my point.
Okay.
Returning?
Well,
no.
hygienically, are you
You
taking
gotta
off
You
that
gotta return it.
that
If
thing?
that's no, I'm not taking the panel off.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not taking the
But
panel.
this is my problem with the panel is that if that panel's on your vagina, that means you return it. Do they put a new panel on?
I don't put it directly on my vagina.
Okay.
I keep the panel on. I also keep I'm not gonna put my pussy juice on.
We're not going to mingle that way. A petri
Your
dish.
PJs. You're not going to put your PJs on someone else's
Is
PJs.
everyone wearing underwear when they try on bathing suits? I'm not. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not.
You should be. You should
Maybe
be.
cut this.
You've been.
I'm not.
You've been sitting in other people's PJs.
No, because June needs to
I need to
really get
see it without a
taken what will
line.
be seen.
That's the problem.
Right?
How do you see
Yeah.
it?
You just put a thong on it and then hide it. Just shove it up
think you can
there.
get the
Anyway,
right-
point is, I am shopping for my future self.
Oh, wow.
My future self is somebody who is romantic, somebody who is in touch with the sensual, who does have a winter home in Mallorca. I want to have that wardrobe and then live up to that person.
Yes.
And I also recently took my makeup artist, Alexis Walker, who's always also one of my dear friends. I took her to a Nordstrom's and I forced her to buy all new makeup for me. If you can bring someone with you that has, I would bring either of you, SuChin or Kulap, with me. Sorry, June. I would also bring you for eye makeup. Okay.
You bring me for skincare or
Well,
other makeup?
Well, if I had a choice, if I'm looking at the three of you and I'm thinking to myself, who am I going to? Who's my number one? I mean, we're talking about Kulap's doing a 16-step process that involves snail slime. I'm going to go.
She's talking about mucin. I don't always use it, but yes, it is. A painter has many paints.
But if I'm going to go with a mascara, of course I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. I just feel like we have very similar coloring, so I feel like I could be of service. But that's okay. That's okay.
You're right. We do look like sisters in that respect. And so I do appreciate that.
Let's get into some of the things that you've added to cart. Now, June.
Yes.
Supergoop. Tell us about it.
So I want to be really clear on what I mean by when I say supergroup. I am not advocating for all of their sunblocks. No.
Okay.
There is a specific kind. It's the unseen sunscreen. And where I really struggle is getting sunblock in my eyes, feeling like it's too heavy. And this is a sunblock that the texture is not like I've never felt anything like it. And by the way, one of the reasons why I love it is because I have so much trouble getting sunblock on my kids. And this is the only one where they don't fight me. And I use it too. It's hard because I'm like, it's too expensive to use on them. And it's hard to say like your skin is not valuable enough to me to spend the money on this, and I'll spend it on myself, but not you.
Yeah.
That never feels great, but I do.
But you do it. You do say it.
I do say that. But it's just a great sunblock. And I never really knew until very recently that we're supposed to be reapplying every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's such a commitment.
Yeah.
And it actually works.
It works.
That's something I'm adding to cart. It is not cheap. It costs to look this good, though. You know, it costs money. But I like it because it's something I feel like I can reapply and not feel overwhelmed by or not feel like I'm a sticky mess. Like it's just easy.
It's actually kind of a treat to put on. They also
Yes,
have
it
one that is a
feels
bit of a
nice.
tinted moisturizer. Glow Screen is what I use from Supergoop, and that is phenomenal. It's got a little bit of color to it, but it goes on just like a pearl, like a bunch of crushed up little pearls, gives you a little shine. And I have people go, "Ooh, you look so fresh." And I'm like, it's the sunscreen. Like, you need to be encouraged.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to want to put it on. Otherwise, who cares? You're not going to put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Kulap, if I could just get a full 8 hours of undisturbed sleep, I'd wake up suddenly being able to make my own rosemary sourdough bread. I would learn how to knit a jaunty winter's cap.
Sorry, a winter's cap? Is that like a beanie?
Yeah.
You call it a winter's cap?
A winter's cap, a cap you wear in winter.
Okie dokie. I guess me too. No, I get 8 hours. That's why today we want to talk about Birch mattresses. They are organic, non-toxic mattresses shipped for free straight to you with no contact delivery and free returns.
Listen, my house is full of Birch mattresses. They are made in America with just 3 materials: organic latex, New Zealand wool, and American steel springs. That's it.
My entire family's coming to visit. And I set up a bed for my mother in my middle room. It is so comfortable. To set up this Birch mattress was healing for me.
I mean, it's snuggle time for you and mamas.
I'm going to spoon my mom, who's smaller than me. She's a shrimp like you are. Because I love how the organic cotton it's made of doesn't ever get too overheated. The entire bed is the cool side of the pillow.
So you can check out this bedding at birchliving.com/add to cart yourself. They have a 25-year warranty and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. And they will pick it up for you if you don't love it. But we know you will.
Birch is giving $200 off all mattresses and 2 free EcoRest pillows at birchliving.com/add to cart. So that's $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free EcoRest pillows. Speaking of putting things on, Jess, the Rose Santa Lucia styling oil. This is for hair.
Yes, the hair oil. My hair stylist, Mara Rozak, Rozcak. She does every single celebrity you would know, and then she slums it with me because I don't know how I crawled into her salon like a little rat when I was like 25. But she does Emma Stone, Zoe Saldana, everybody at the Oscars. She does their hair, and she is a real life Little Mermaid. and she created this hair oil that smells like her. I am not somebody who can wear a scent because I get migraines. But what I love is that your hair becomes the scent. Someone comes in for a hug, they're getting into your hair and they're like, that's their leave behind. And it's much more subtle.
Very sensual.
It's very sensual. It's rozhair.com. You can order it. My hair is like a dry, like hay bale. You can wet your hair after the shower, put 2 braids in with the oil. Put the oil in the hair, the braids, and then sleep in it. And you don't put an elastic. Instead, you just do 1 bobby pin flat so that it doesn't create any kind of like kink.
Okay.
And then the next morning, you have Daryl Hannah's hair from Splash.
Wow. Mermaid style icon. Yes.
So beautiful.
Yes.
And I have one
Hot
for you,
tip.
June, and I'll get one for you too as well.
Okay, this is huge. This is huge because SuChin and I are doing this podcast to get free things.
Of course you are. And you should.
That's been clear from the beginning. Yeah, no one was confused about that.
No one was confused? Oh, okay.
It's in the title. It's implied. It's the silent title to the main title.
Give us free shit.
Please. Please. Junie, what's this boost? It's some edibles? Specifically the sour watermelon?
These are my dosable gummies. And they have 20 milligrams of THC in each of them. They're cannabis-enriched double-dose boost sour watermelon gummies made with love in Canada. Now, I had a tough time in Canada. I've talked about it quite a bit. It was a challenging time.
Yeah. She was working there.
I was
during the
working
pandemic.
there,
Yeah.
and it was just a hard time for many reasons. But this got me through. Now, am I addicted? Probably. But I don't know how this works if you can actually get them in America because they're a Canadian company. But they are, boy, do they send me off to a nice slumber.
Now, do you stay asleep? Because here's the thing.
Yeah,
I don't
always,
think there is
Jessica.
a adult person in America who has not taken some sleeping aid every night of this pandemic. I can't stop waking up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., and not really going back to sleep. So tell me, you take it at what time? You wake up at what time?
I mean, I take it. I mean, Kulap, I brought these to your birthday. Yeah, I
that's
take it. And I was trying to hand them out. I didn't get many takers, but
I would have taken it.
She went down, and when I tell you at 11 p.m., she was so hyped up. She wanted to go out. Everyone was ready to go to bed. She wanted to go to the town. Okay, we're not going to go to the town. Let's play tennis. Okay, you don't want to play tennis. Then let's
This is at 11 p.m.?
11 p.m., Jess. Then,
Because of these gummies?
No, not because of these gummies.
Pre-gummy,
This was
pre-gummy,
her
pre-gummy.
frequency.
Okay.
She was that high. Then she
Okay,
settled for us sitting on Casey's bed and talking a little bit. She popped in a gummy. You know, a few minutes later, she's like, "Why are you guys keeping me up? I'm tired."
yeah, I was like, enough, everybody.
Then it was like angry.
Yeah.
Angry fatigue.
Yeah, I was like, let me go to sleep.
Because 20 ain't nothing. I got to tell you what, 20 milligrams ain't.
It packs a punch.
It should.
And it does. And it just, I don't know. I just really enjoy the experience of being taken away into, like, Calgon, take me away. Boost double dose gummies, take me away. You know, it's been a really nice experience. And when I tell you it puts me out and I'm gone, girl, I mean, I'm gone. And I don't wake up. So if I take one at 11 p.m., like, my eyes aren't popping open until like 7 a.m.
But that is wonderful. I don't care how you get the deep sleep. We need it to restore our bodies.
For
That's
sure. Yes.
no joke.
Do you have a big stash? Because you're no longer in Canada. You're not
How are
sure
we
if
gonna
you can
get
get
them?
it
I need some.
here. I'm a little worried.
Well, I have worked out something with the manufacturer. We have a beautiful partnership. And
Gorgeous. Add to cart.
yes, add to cart. And it's been
Can
great.
you add some to cart for me, please?
I absolutely
'Cause I
get
need
you
to
some
get
of these.
involved in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would like that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You know, I didn't do any drugs pre getting cancer. And then I'm like, oh, all the drugs are at our disposal. Like, and they're a wonderful thing.
They are.
And
And I
once
would say
again,
cannabis is a wonderful thing. I'm a little behind
Cannabis
on this
is a
trend, I
wonderful
know, but
thing.
I really do think it's a wonderful thing.
I shipped drugs illegally to my father. he got knee surgery, and luckily one of BB's public school friends' moms is the CMO of Sweet Flower, which is a really great brand. Not brand, it's a store designed for women. Pot basically for women of all stripes, like great gummies, chocolate confections, all the wonderful cans of delicious sparkling beverages. And anyway, I texted her and said, hey, what do I do for my dad in terms of inflammation, blah, blah, blah. So I sent him a bunch of stuff. I was kind of worried I'd be, sent to jail. And then he said that those creams, those THC creams, they were better for him than any prescription. And the gummies I got him called Midnight something or other, Camino gummies, they put him to sleep more than Vicodin.
I believe it.
What an endorsement.
Yeah.
Some things are illegal, we can all agree upon. But if you kind of keep it low key, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing something that you've added to cart, which is along the line of what you were describing is to be more romantic.
This is inspired by you.
It is. This beautiful garden kimono from Anthropology is inspired by moi.
So I decided I wanted to start living my kimono life, and I ordered this kimono, and it arrived, and instantly BB, who I do believe honestly was more rightfully sent to Kulap and or Casey, because my lack of cozy just bums her out. She said the other day, she was like, Amma, enough with this high bun. Please at least make it a high pony. It's doing nothing for you. She's 7. So she immediately is like, ooh, kimono, and was just running around with it on her naked body. She just is obsessed with it. So I have to live up to the kimono.
I really wish you were wearing it right now. I'm going to be honest.
It's really beautiful.
To be honest with you, guys, BB is home from Camp Sick. She's wearing it right now.
Oh, wow.
She took a shower, a hot shower at 2 p.m. and just put on a kimono and is just walking around like she's Snape from Harry Potter with the trailing behind her.
Just we live with our gurus and our teachers.
That's right.
And she is there.
That's right.
That's right.
She is there.
Yep.
She is your teacher.
She is.
I love this kid.
I mean, sometimes your children just make you speechless.
Yes.
It's not often.
Yes.
Let's not brag.
Yes.
They're not geniuses. No records are being broken here. But every once in a while, they will stop you in your fucking tracks.
That's right.
Make your pupils dilate and your tongue hang out. And in that moment, you have to respect.
Jess, are you planning on wearing this kimono styled like it is in the pictures, like with jeans and just it's over a tank top?
I've just been wearing it around the house, with my nightgown. I have a little kind of nightie that I've also been leaning into that BB picked out for me. Having your 7-year-old pick out lingerie is such a strange experience.
I'd love to get
especially
eyes on that set, please.
Across the street from her elementary school, there's an Italian lingerie shop called Bellezza. And she goes, Amma, could we pop in? And I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. She's like, really, we need to upgrade. And so she's like, this is the perfect shade of purple for this garden kimono. And God damn it, was she right? And I'm thinking also, can you wear a kimono like that to the beach? Could you create a cover-up situation? Or it's not really a cover-up?
Yes.
Could you?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Depends. You would want to coordinate the color of what you're up to a little bit, right? With the swimsuit.
It's very bohemian, especially anything from Anthropology is bohemian. But even how it's styled in this photo with just a tank and a loose jean.
It's cute.
I mean, I kimono like a blazer. Is that just me? I mean,
great.
Wow.
A button-up shirt underneath, dress pants, kimono.
Oh my word. Now, where are you guys getting, or is there a place for kimonos that I don't know? Because to be honest,
it doesn't have to be exactly a kimono, but a robe-like thing. And I'm giving you this because you can broaden your searches, right?
Is it not a long shawl collared blazer? It's just a different type of jacket.
Yes.
Well, listen, for those of us who are just dipping our toes into the kimono life, I think we do need some links. So I'm going to have Kulap send me a couple, SuChin.
Yes.
I would love for you to, take time out of your busy schedule to do that.
I like to spend a little time and save a little money.
That's the SuChin Pak promise.
That's my bumper sticker. It's never wasted time if you've saved some money at the end of your 4-week search for an inexpensive kimono-like robe.
For our next girls' night, which SuChin, you have to please drive down for.
Yes.
Please.
I will poise it up. I will drive down. I will be in a kimono and a button-up shirt.
Oh, God, that's hot. That's hot.
And then we can get into the circle looking out over Kulap's pool, and she will drop her gems and her wisdoms.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. Let's get into some remove from carts.
Okay.
June, you mentioned this before.
Yes.
You had a tough time in Canada.
Yes.
And so you're
Did I put Canada
removing
down as just remove from cart?
You should have.
You wrote my based in Canada message on Instagram.
So, and for all the Canadians listeners out there, please know that I didn't really get a chance to even enjoy Toronto or Canada because it was COVID times and I didn't have my children with me. It was hard. It was a hard personal time for me. It had nothing to do with Canada. For some reason, when I came back from Canada, saw on my Instagram that says based in Canada.
Wait, that wasn't
It
a
says
bit?
my name on my profile. No, I wouldn't even know how to do that bit.
What?
I thought it was a bit.
I did too.
No.
I thought it was a genius bit.
Really?
It made me laugh every
It was
time I
very
saw
funny.
It. Yes.
It was funny?
Yes, it was funny to me. I don't know why, because it was like you were never coming home. That's why I thought, like, oh, she's
I
trapped
thought
in
the
Canada. She's never
same.
coming home. That was a funny
well,
bit.
now, I don't know. Maybe I'm putting it back in cart. Well, it was driving me nuts. I reached out to Instagram, to the powers that be, and I could
You
not.
took it up the ladder.
I did, and I could not fucking get it off.
What?
So it's still pending. I'm still based in Canada, according to Instagram, and it's just driving me fucking nuts. It is driving me nuts.
That was bestowed to you
Yeah.
is very strange.
I know, and it's like, God, to have that identity.
They are watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are watching
And
us.
I'm just simply not based there.
mentally, spiritually.
I'm not based there.
But maybe you still are. Maybe you need to remove that experience from your cart,
Oh, that's
that,
interesting,
that traumatic
Jess.
experience. Maybe you're carrying that around.
I don't know how it got added, but I'm ready to let it go.
All right. Well, obviously, Mr. and Mrs. Instagram, if we can get on this, and I'm sure your listeners to add to cart. Please.
Can we
Make this right.
Free June. Free June.
Let me leave. Just let me be,
Jess, you mentioned ordering a bunch of bikinis before and returning them, and you have removed from cart this rouge. What is it? A rouge?
Do you know this brand?
Rouge?
Rouje. Jean Damas, Damas, is a French influencer.
Okay.
Model / influencer who created this beautiful French line rouge, which is sometimes you find it here in the US, but you do have to order it from France. So that's why a commitment like a swimsuit is really a mistake, because you've got customs forms, you've got all sorts of manners of things. I have decided the bikini life is it's not for me. It used to be for me, but I had a 10-pound baby and my skin is all sorts of flappity around there. It's just kind of crepey. It looks like crepe paper. And I don't know if that's ever going to get better. And I kind of am like, why do I keep leaning into making myself feel bad with a purchase of a bathing suit? But I was like, does a high-waisted brief solve that problem?
Okay.
Or does it look like you're wearing an adult diaper?
Can I make a suggestion?
Here it comes.
Sure.
I would be interested in seeing you in a high waist, but also high cut.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Kulap? Like
I do know. I know what you mean.
high waist, so like
Jane
above.
Fonda, almost back in the day.
Yes,
high
but
cut.
I high cut because I think
cut.
it can get into diaper land when it's sort of a lower cut on the leg, but
Yeah.
high cut.
Yeah.
could be a really interesting area for you.
To explore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, high cut meaning you're getting some of the side meat.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm on this Rouge link right now, and I'm seeing the Rachel bottom, and like I want that all the way up. That's too low.
Yeah, it's too low for me, but I also don't want the butt cheeks hanging out too much. Do you know what I'm saying? I know you want more of that, but I just don't feel right with it.
So I'm just going to tell America yet again that Jessica has an ass that will not quit, and it's under wraps. It's hidden away.
I'm not, June, I didn't know.
Nobody
she
does because she doesn't present it.
It's it's not right. It's not the greatest butt.
It's really good, Jessica.
It's not. It's bigger because
it's really good.
Well, do you know what they did? Oh, guys, we didn't even get into like all the surgical procedures people can have, but
but that's a whole episode.
It's such a good area, but they had to put a fat graft into my boob that got shrunk from radiation, and it didn't quite work. And so they may, I hope, fingers crossed, have to go back in there because it's basically
Fingers
crossed, I guess.
I really, really, really
that
hope.
they need to repair
my
something?
oncologist
Surgery
was
was botched. Okay.
She was like, I think we got to get back in. I was like, good. Because what they can do is suck out fat, lipo, basically, paid for by insurance.
Whoa, well, yeah, now I understand. Yeah, okay.
And they inject it into your boob, wherever, obviously Kim Kardashian has it put into her butt, which is a whole different thing. So anyway, my plastic surgeon who did my mastectomy is so good. She's such an artist. She took fat from the top of my knees. What? There's knee fat. That is juicy knee fat. It's really good to get out. And actually, when you take it out from under your knees, it really makes that whole leg sort of kind of go inward, in a beautiful way. Because her point is, you don't want to take fat from everywhere. You want it to narrow down the leg. You don't want to go straight up and down, okay? Like a stick. And then what she did is took fat from underneath my butt, so there is a little shelf. Sorry, you guys can't see because it's a podcast. But she takes it right from under here.
Okay.
And it creates a little shelf.
Wow.
That really makes you look like you have a very perky butt. But it's still the same size, but it gives you a little bit of perk to it. So, I mean, listen, people have varying opinions about going under the knife when it's not needed. And would I be doing this without the other necessary need of like fixing, whatever, my boobs?
While we're under.
Yeah, you're under while we're here,
yeah.
God, I just feel like, guys,
when in Rome.
We're all ecologists.
Yeah.
We just conserve time, energy.
SuChin, will you please describe your dream South Korea beauty trip?
Oh, I please book me a spot.
Pencils and papers. My dream Korea trip, okay, is a group of like-minded pals, okay, with shared values and tastes. We go there, we stay in a beautiful hotel. We get head to toe everything touched. No knives. No knives, no surgery, because that is barbaric in Korea. You do it all by needles, injections, osmosis, lasers, cutting edge technology.
Great.
It's the future
Greatest
there.
Asian minds come together to sculpt you into what you need to do.
Who you need to be.
You are well enough after the procedures, so there'll be a menu you can choose from, to shop at the underground malls, as you know, Korea's famed, and eat all of the Korean food.
I want you to know that while SuChin is describing this, her eyes are closed.
Oh no, I'm
she
channeling
went into
it.
like a straight up
channeling it.
trance. My South Korean neighbors she comes back from visiting her mother, and I swear to God, she's turned the clock back year after year. And I'm like, where does this end? But it doesn't look like she's had shit done. No. She just looks young as fuck.
Because June, when I was dreaming of this, because I have very heavy lids, very oily.
Here we go.
Oily omega-3 salmon fold lids. It is hard.
Nobody thinks that.
Nobody thinks
it takes so much energy to do this. I'm 4 o'clock. I'm exhausted because I have to close these lids. And so I have been planning this fantasy trip in my mind post-COVID when the world opens up. Let's do it.
I just don't know if you can address the crepe skin that I'm talking about.
Let's try.
I've heard also, and I bet South Korea has it, there is apparently some people, some very, very, the important minds of the world are working on the cellulite problem, which they can, I guess, break up the bonds that hold it together, but nobody's done it yet. If anyone's going to do it, it's the South Koreans. And
come with me.
That's the Olympics I want to see.
Let's go.
That's the Olympics I want to see. I want before and afters, and then let's put awards.
Take my hand.
That's the Nobel Peace Prize I want to see.
We go. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Let's make this dream a reality.
Add to cart.
Yeah.
Add to cart.
Add to cart.
Add to cart. Beauty safari in South Korea. Add to cart.
Beauty safari. What great branding. I love it. I love it. I've learned Canva. I can make us various itineraries. I can make us flyers.
It's going to be laminated. You're showing up with a folder.
We should be making money by hosting retreats.
Why aren't we?
At Jane Club, we do host. We've hosted 2 digital retreats, and we're actually going to do an in-person retreat. So I guess I'm on it. And also, Kulap has hosted a retreat.
I want a resort location.
You heard about my retreat.
This is not Bitter Lambs.
You don't want Jello shots on a retreat?
No.
Yeah, Nams and Bitter Lambs.
Yeah, that's something you don't want? After...
Okay.
After unfurling your soul amongst your friends in the desert, you don't want a cool blueberry, raspberry Jello shot to ease you into the PM?
Zach. I forgot that detail of Jello shots. Wow.
You transported them from Los Angeles. That's what's so upsetting. You were like, I need a mini fridge that can handle these 32 Jello shots. God,
I cannot believe we did Jello shots. It's really so... in between journaling,
sometimes you do your best journaling.
Mashup. Yeah.
While you're writing a letter to your past self and your future self.
And you're going to postmark that, and we're going to bring it over to an actual, mailbox at some point. We're sending that
We're going to send that out.
Yeah.
Once you get parched and also want to chew. That's when you want... your retreat Jello shots.
Oh my God.
Jess, June, thank you so much for joining us. This was exactly what I hoped for. It's what I needed. I'm ending my day after this.
So am I.
We all need to end our days after this. And I feel like I could talk to you 3 really all day long. I mean, we barely scratched the surface.
Barely.
I could literally, if it was 10 p.m., I would rather be on with you guys, take a gummy, fall asleep, wake up. Gummies. We're still on with each other.
Yep. Somebody is still talking.
Right?
We take rounds. We take turns.
Yeah, you're my white noise.
It's so soothing.
You're my white noise.
It's so soothing.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing anyone has ever really said.
It seems impossible that our listeners are not already following you on the social media, but just in case, what are your handles?
Well, obviously I'm not based in Canada. On Instagram, I am June Diane, and on Twitter, I'm at Miss June Diane.
And I am St. Clair Jessica, STCLAIR Jessica on Instagram, and stclair.jessica on Twitter.
Confusing.
So confusing and horrible handles. I have no idea why I did
tough.
that.
And then also you can follow the Deep Dive podcast on Twitter. Is that correct?
Which is at the Deep Dive Pod.
Thank you. At the Deep Dive Pod.
When does your episodes drop? When are they freshest?
Wednesday morning, we serve them up hot and fresh. And please know that we feel sick to our stomachs because something terribly secret and shameful has been revealed from one of us, and sometimes both, and sometimes from one of our dearest friends.
Yeah.
It's not enough that we share. Everybody's got to share.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Catch all of June and Jess's hot add to carts on @AddToCartPod.
You can also scroll through those show notes to directly purchase anything they talked about.
Make sure you subscribe to keep listening. Also, if you rate and review us, we might put your review on our Instagram.
There you go. And you can also leave us a voice message at 833-453-6662 and tell us about your vacation alter ego. You know, what's the vibe? Mm-hmm. What's the vibe that you want to conjure up as we all sit here in our Amazon Junior sweats? You know, like what is
that's
that?
Just you.
No,
that's
okay.
Just you.
As we sit in our culotte sweats, you know what I mean? Those that
that's
ride
right.
up to the knee. No?
Still you. But be less like SuChin, more like just saying Clair. Who is the person you are on vacation that you want to bring into your life? And if you could just address these two SuChin, maybe it'll seep through as well. We love you all. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye. Add to Cart is a production of Lemonada Media. Our producer is Claire Jones, and our editor is Ivan Kirev. Theme music is by Wasabi and produced by LA Made It, and Oh So Familiar with additional music by APM Music. Executive producers are Kulap Vlaisak, SuChin Pak, Jessica Cordova Kramer, and Stephanie Whittles-Wax.
Be sure to check out all the items we mentioned today on our Instagram @AddToCartPod. Also, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to this show wherever you get your podcasts.